it's not about just him supporting me. It's also about me supporting him when he leaves for work and I take care of the house. I choose to do lesser work. I choose to sit back when it's important.
Yeah.
And he sits back when I have to leave for an outdoor schedule. So there's always one of us at home with the kids. So I think a marriage has to be hand in glove. It has to work in a balanced way.
Yeah, there happen times. Of course, I think you have to stand up for what you bring to the table and what your worth is as an artist. There have been a couple of times where I've felt like I've not been given the positioning that I deserve in a film, and I've taken a stand for that. I've said that, okay, if this is how you want to portray me, then let's just not make me a part of the promotional activities, or remove me from the poster, give me a special credit.
Even if you're doing that one good film the entire year, you're running the longer race. So you're there to work till you're 60, 70, 80. Whereas, if you were just churning films, trying to look younger than your age, trying to battle that perfection which is going on today, then, I mean, as you start turning imperfect, which you have to at some point, it'll all be the end of it.
Ma'am is in the similar mood.
Yeah, I don't know if it really helps. I mean, I think your previous works speaks about the next one which is going to come. I really don't know if the whole thing works in the long run, at least.
मतलब आप क्या ही कर लोगे, मैं बाल करवाने जा रही हूँ, आपने मेरी फोटो खींच ली, मुझे उससे थोड़ी काम मिल रहा है.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello everybody, I'm Rajwani and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. Two actors who have made their part through their own choices, done things that they've believed in, and believe me, it's not easy. And this is such a beautiful collaboration. I'm talking about Sonakshi Sinha and Jyotika ma'am. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for this kind word.
I was telling you, I see that. You've, throughout your career, have been very specific about doing films that you believe in, that do not just serve you as an accessory. There is so much more through layers that you express, and I think you've been among the women who've really paved the way for other women in eventually to do and get more opportunities like that. And Sonakshi, like we've always discussed, after a certain point, you exactly knew what you wanted. And we've seen that transition. But I have this question for both of you. Is it really difficult, even after you've decided and you're in a certain position to select, is it still difficult to make everything happen, to get enough budgets to lead films where we are central characters, to get stories that can be crazy, can be layered, just flawed women even, and had the right people gather them together, actors supporting you, even that is necessary at some point. Does that all work out?
So, yeah, I'd say not largely. It is still a battle. It is, but then it's not that it doesn't happen. It's happened right here in system.
Correct.
So it is happening, and I always say luck plays a big factor in the game. If you do have your own choices, you can carve your own path. But I feel there's also luck which plays a part, as in with these kind of projects coming together. I mean, I also feel it's a little bit of that little magic dust which also plays
the stars need to align.
Yeah.
For
to get
everything
such
to
films.
happen.
But it is a battle. It doesn't happen every now and then. Budgets are always a problem. And we're facing it. We've come a long way with that underlining, constantly.
Especially after COVID, I think a lot of people have reworked the way they make films because of how the consumption of content has happened, right? So I feel it's constantly evolving, constantly changing, and I guess you got to just move with the time. So you do make your adjustments as and when you have to, but there are also those times where everything works out the way it should.
I'm just adding one more layer to this and saying that, does it also help you be in this position of very secure actors because you all do not follow the race and are not willing to be a part of a certain list of top 10 actors and stuff, and you all you're finally focused on what you want to do, right? Because women are constantly pitted against each other here, but both of you here, has this security helped you all in just focusing? Because like you said, it's a battle. You will not get those, your films that you want to do at a certain level, they'll say women-centric films, they don't give us that kind of output, we'll not put in that kind of money, such and so actor doesn't want to be a part of it because you are the main lead. So these sort of layers, how do you deal with that? And does, like I said, does that security kind of help you all be in that position of peace and be more patient?
You definitely have to be confident about yourself and the work you know. And I think that allows you to say no to a lot of work because you're very clear with what you want to do. And I guess so. I think you're not in the run of the mill. I have shoot this month also, next month also, and I'm busy this whole year. But even if you're doing that one good film the entire year, you're running the longer race. So you're there to work till you're 60, 70, 80. Whereas, if you were just churning films, trying to look younger than your age, trying to battle that perfection which is going on today, then I mean, as you start turning imperfect, which you have to at some point, it'll all be the end of it. So I guess it's your self-confidence, the actor you are. And it's also in my case, it's also the mother I am, the wife I am. When I see real life characters, I feel let's portray this on screen. This is rare. So it's everything together.
So well put. Sonakshi.
Yeah, I think it also comes from experience, growing over the years, learning over the years. You've been there, done that. You've been a part of that race. You've realized that why am I running here when I can do good work and have people appreciate me for that. I think it takes a lot of learning to kind of get to a point like this as well. And yes, the security does help you to be mentally at peace with it. It allows you to have a good night's sleep when you go back home. Allows you, it's actually a great privilege to be in a position to be able to choose the work that you want to do. And I think that is really what true success looks like, it feels like. And yeah, so if anybody wants to compare it, and I think that's all that matters. You should just go home happy. No?
Say it
For
louder.
anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it louder.
Yeah.
Sonakshi, I was just discussing your character and system has a very interesting evolution. Most children, daughters included, sometimes are looking to get that validation from your parents, your father.
Most of the time.
Most of the times, most of our childhood, there are also expectations from this side to be a certain way. I'm not saying all parents, but we see that. And you're trying so hard to be someone that your father is, even if you might not be. And then, of course, you kind of taking that stand, not to give away anything, towards the end for yourself and for your career, which itself I feel is a massive growth in her character. How do you relate to this? Have you also, while growing up, wanted that validation? Today I see you're a woman of your own, but it's a journey, right, sitting in front of you.
Of course it is. And I think every person goes through that journey, whether it's a daughter or a son.
Yeah.
It's very important to kind of grow up with the values that your parents instill in you. But then at the end of the day, you have to become your own person as well. And break away from the shadows, I feel. Because if you live under that boulder of expectations, I think it's not good for you in itself. So I feel that's why I also related with Neha's character so much, and I wanted to play it because it's so real. She's completely flawed. She has her own demons. She's learning, she's growing, she's making mistakes. And that's human. That's all of us. Which is what really drew me to her as well.
Yeah, and I think you played very well.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I was watching your character, very closely when I was watching it, and it reminded me of a few things that we had discussed a long time ago. You said that, the reason why you were so confident about taking that break and then coming back is because you had that space with your partner where he supported you, his family. So you were secure in that position. So your decisions were yours and supported by a very secure man who encouraged and was cheering for you while you were making those decisions in your career while coming back after being a mother and everything. I saw that it's a very different situation for her, right? Like for a lot of women here. She's constantly taking up all responsibilities in the house. She's also giving money, like she goes and says, "Jaake kuch kharido," something to the daughter, and basically doing what most women do. And then coming out of that, of the background that she is, to a place where there are a lot of privileged people around her. Whenever she's entering rooms, still not feeling that space, right? कि ये लोग मुझसे शायद ज़्यादा अमीर है, ज़्यादा privileged है. And I think you show that unease very well through your body language, through the way you are. When you're sitting in her house and you are staring at her house, and you say that I've always watched this from outside. It was a position. So a woman who's not completely, I feel, supported from here, because she's also a one-woman army. Very contrast to what you've said, and how well lives would be for women like this if they only got that support, isn't it, man?
Yeah, of course. I think a marriage is all about balance. And it's not about just him supporting me. It's also about me supporting him when he leaves for work and I take care of the house. I choose to do lesser work. I choose to sit back when it's important.
Yeah.
And he sits back when I have to leave for an outdoor schedule. So there's always one of us at home with the kids. So I think a marriage has to be hand in glove. It has to work in a balanced way. As far as Sarika is concerned, who did the opposite, I'd say Ashwini made it very clear to both of us that we are from two different stratas of the society.
Yeah.
And, she had given me a brief that, Jo, when you sit in her car, you've never sat in that AC car. And, look at the car. This is, to give her all the credit, this was her brief also towards the character. And then I picked it up, and then wherever I went, like to her house or any good place with her, a cafe or whatever, I did look around and carried it forward. But it was definitely a brief given to both of us that I wear flat shoes, she wears heels. We are from different homes and behaved. So it was a lot of director also into this.
Of course. I just spoke about she taking a stand for herself. And I think when you sat in the room to negotiate about how much you'll get paid for the extra work that you're going to do for her, was you taking a stand for your own worth.
Yeah.
Right? Because for her also it's difficult, na? आपके पास घर में उतना है नहीं, कोई सिखाता नहीं है. Women are not taught to go and ask for a certain amount, because we're always supposed to be like, take what you get type. So I think both your characters have those moments. Can you tell me a stand that you've taken for yourself in your career, which worked out for whatever, the best that you could? And it is difficult to take stands.
I have always taken a stand in my career. I've had gaps of 8 years and 5 years not doing films and then getting back. When I had kids, of course, 8 years, and then 5 years of COVID and post when I didn't feel like going back to films, and I wanted to be with mom and dad. So I have always taken my own decisions where my careers, and my entire graph is the kind of films I wanted to do. So I think throughout has been my own choices.
What about you, Sonakshi?
Yeah, there have been times. Of course, I think you have to stand up for what you bring to the table and what your worth is as an artist. There have been a couple of times where I've felt like I've not been given the positioning that I deserve in a film, and I've taken a stand for that. I've said that, okay, if this is how you want to portray me, then let's just not make me a part of the promotional activities, or remove me from the poster, give me a special credit, special appearance credit, and I'll be fine. Don't fool me by telling me that this is your role and it's pivotal to the film, and it's a, what is that word they keep throwing? It's a something. It'll come to me. Like, they make it sound very, very appealing to you when they want to sign you as an actor, because they know that you bring something to the table. But then when it comes to actually delivering to other people,
Big budget film time, something like that.
something like that. So they kind of forget the promises that were made to you. So I feel at points like this, as an actor, as an artist, as a woman, you have to take a stand for yourself.
Proud that you did. Also, lovely thing about this story is also that, and Ashwini does that in few of her other films as well, is the sisterhood that you create. There's a silent approval of every time both of you are doing well in that stage, and the little moments that you'll find. You'll come from different backgrounds, but you'll found a space where y'all could unite for similar causes, and I think that is wonderful. Let's talk about the sisterhood that I see it outside also, but in the film, it's also such an important layer.
Yeah, I think we were very comfortable with each other. I think we also respect each other outside of work, and that respect is also underlined with what you're saying, actually, her choice of films and how she's led her career. And I sort of connect. I feel when we spoke, I felt we were on the same wavelength. And that came across on screen also. And definitely it was written in a way also that, we found it easy to
Brings that
feel together.
true. I see that. It's wonderful. Sonakshi, you want to add to that?
No, I like agree with her. So like, yeah, it also comes from, just working with someone who's so professionally on the same wavelength as you in terms of like their ethic. It just really makes you do better. And of course, an actor of her caliber, to have someone like that around you, and like it just elevates your own performance.
Absolutely. Just last two questions for each of you. One, ma'am, I think your character also kind of becomes her moral ground at some point, because what you have seen is so different from what she's seen as well, right? You quietly taking stands for atrocities that happen around you, and both of you actually, you all start empathizing on that man. You're as a person also, often I see like you, besides being an actor, also you take stand in the society for you, quite fearlessly, I feel. And it's a time when even Sonakshi, actually, among the very few actors who do that, when you have to talk about a certain social issue that bothers you, you'll go ahead. Did you find it difficult today, though, to still be who you are and continuing to do this as a person, to take a stand in the society for what you believe in? Because the world today has become even more, how do I put it, unempathetic.
I think we do. We're still doing it subconsciously. I think there hasn't been a single. I cannot point out to anything recently, very recently, but just making our own choices and just saying no to certain big films, and just saying a flat no because you're not given that deal in it, or doing it also is fine if it's your own choice. So I just feel just taking those calls in a male-dominated industry itself, I think it feels like you're on your own terms, and saying a lot of social things through films also. I think that matters. At least somewhere subconsciously, I feel in my films, I have been, whether I don't know if I intended to, but I have been giving out a couple of social messages through the film.
No, 100%. I think it's a byproduct. You want to make an entertaining thing, and then as a byproduct, you just...
I think the biggest social message we both have been giving through our films is respect women.
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%. I completely agree. Sonakshi, is it still easy? I mentioned the word security. I'm going to end with this. To be the kind of actor that you are, who's just minding her own business and doing the work that she is, in a place where they're harping and saying that you need to put yourself out there more and do more paid PR and be more seen. How are you dealing with this world right now that is kind of exasperating? A lot of actors often mention this to me and say that, I don't know, especially the ones who are like you, who are like, I'm okay not doing this extra PR or whatever and putting myself out there with the negativity and all of that.
No, see, I'm very clear. It's a game I'm not going to play on me. I don't want to get into it. Of course, initially when you start working and all, you don't know any better. That's what's been told to you. This is how it is. Ye karna padta hai, wo karna padta hai. We've all done it. But now you've reached a point where you're very comfortable with where you are. I want my work to speak. Now my film is coming out. I've come out to promote and interacting with the paparazzi and doing media interviews and all. But this is the only time I want to do it. When I have nothing to speak about or nothing to say, or I don't have a film coming out, I don't see the need to do that. Why should I be seen and been spotted everywhere? I don't need to. I'm very happy with this. In fact, for the last couple of years, I don't have a PR agency. And when the film is releasing, we have the production does all the PR for the film, related to the film. I'm very happy doing just that. I want to go home and live a happy life, and that's it.
And chill.
Don't want to play these games.
Ma'am is in the similar mood.
Yeah, I don't know if it really helps. I mean, I think your previous works speaks about the next one which is going to come. I really don't know if the whole thing works in the long run, at least.
मतलब आप क्या ही कर लोगे? मैं बाल कटवाने जा रही हूँ, आपने मेरी फोटो खींच ली, मुझे उससे थोड़ी काम मिल रहा है.
Yeah.
That's true. But on that note, thank you so much for being who you are. Both of you are absolutely excellent actors, also fantastic human beings. Thank you once again, and
Thank you.
I think everybody should watch System and take the system down if necessary. Thank you once again.